behind. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Oh, it's racing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here live on the PT Race TV. We are here today at Atlanta Motor Speedway here in Atlanta, Georgia. We are about to see some hard racing action from the boys of the GOAT Racing League here as they bring the Next Gen Global Strategy Team Cup Series to the show, back on the track and back in the display. 17 of the best ready to hit it down here in old Atlanta. Hi everyone, I am the Crusader Chris Driver joining you guys here today. So we get set for the action here, set on the pole. Let's take a look at our starting lineup. And then our 19, it'll be Tyler Dalton, the reign of terror himself on the pole, the outside. And the 43 is Samuel Royal. Row number 2 is Scott Sibley, the 7 the outside. Number 15 is Joe Hudson. Row number 3 and the number 45 is Dayton Taylor, the outside. The 11 is Ron Holyfield. Row number 4 and the 22, it's Alan Wild, the outside. The number 12, it's Aaron Action Jackson. Row number 5 and the number 54, it's Cameron Dario, the outside. And the 23, Charles Van Schaik. Row number 6 and the 44 is Christoph Hall, the outside. The number 8, that is Maurice Barnett. Row number 7, that is piloted down by Doy Woods in the 66, the outside. In the number 18, Philip Schmitz. Row number 7 is going to be the 39 of Kevin England, the outside. The 36 is Richard Crane in row 8, the out. And then finally, row 9, the final starter today is the Ryan D. Cook in the number 10. Field of drivers now preparing up for the raw display of horsepower and control. Momentum seething and power about to be fuming out of these drivers' minds and their thoughts and their processes here. Look for the drivers early on to take control of their race, trying to get a little bit of speed and gap cleared out from the distance. Lap 30, lap 75 is our stage breaks here, 81 to the distance. With that said, you know what time it is. We'll roll them down through onto the front straightaway here to our green flag restart zone. It's time to bring it to the track. Let's go racing. Raw power right out of the gate here for these boys. They'll send their way down onto that back straightaway here. Everybody trying to deepen file, double side, double drive. Joe Hudson, number 15, immediately going head to head there with Samuel Harrell. Knows lap 30 will certainly be a little bit tricky to kind of play with. Knows there's a lot of angles to use up and to put up against these guys. Looking to keep his momentum up and looking to continue on down where he needs to. Looks like they're going to lead right up towards that top side a little bit. Kind of surprised they're going as high up as they far are right now. But again, this next gen Cup car has been a bit of an enigma here for some drivers, so maybe using the outside lane keeps it a little bit straighter, just a little bit more on the verge instead of on the travel zone. Going down through a little onboard camera here with Dayton Taylor, one of our only Toyota Camry drivers. Out on the track, a lot of Fords in this one, and half of it Chevys as well. Nevertheless, there is all for nothing to be left on the table. These drivers need to start making some moves, making some runs here before it gets too little too late, especially knowing how much it takes just to even win a race, let alone get closer to the playoff end. And these races counting down, the Truck Series begin their playoff contentions this next week here, so we'll be seeing them tomorrow night, of course, live on P3's TV to see what they can bring to the table and what they'll have on full display. The Cup Series not far off, though. We certainly will be seeing them closer than ever when time comes to it. Little onboard with the 18 Philip Smith. Just saw the 44 Christoph Hall. He got a little bit too tight off that bracket there. Kind of got himself a little bit into a nasty little situation. Probably just can't quite get the rear end to kick out as much as he wants to, and probably is not turning as well as he needs it to be. So I think right now, anyway, maybe trying to find a little bit of a leg up or two to kind of stay in a relatively clean scenario. Of course, this is not the Super Speedway version here of Atlanta, although Christoph Hall probably may not be too mad if it was, knowing he's got a win already out there with it. And speaking of getting a win or two out there with it, Hudson's looking for his first, but Scott Simley, the number 7 Heineken machine, having a little fun with him. Threw a little bit of a battle off there and kind of drove it right in. He was side by side there with Hudson down to that turn 4 to the front straightaway, but both drivers able to clear the gaps. Aaron Action Jackson, though, now willing to intervene into the party. And Samuel Orell even too. The Massage Envy. 43 just trying to go right in between with them here. Every driver here looking pretty solid out of the game. Kind of surprised how far they kind of let Tyler Dalton immediately just jump right up ahead of him. Again, he is the reign of terror. I know that much, but that's a long gap to travel back to. Dalton, though, at this point, probably just kicking more and more into overdrive to save himself stage points and to give himself the ever-elusive fighting chance. I wouldn't call him the Fighting Irish, but honestly, right about now, he could be that. He could be what the Hunchback of Notre Dame is to the Disney movies, to what these drivers are in terms of the raw power and the speed and machinery you need to use to do this race. Oh, hold on down there, a little trouble. Looks like a little trouble off that corner. Joe Hudson losing it off at the back straightaway here. Hudson getting out of the mess there and getting himself out of trouble. Well, unfortunately, he lost all that grip and all that power there as they continue on. Hudson just now able to get the car refired in the USAL 15 machine. Man, I gotta believe he is not a happy camper after that little skirmish there. You see the smoke there on the back half, and then that tire tread on the right side as we went right by down there. He left a very big impression there on that corner, and now he's really cost himself more than he realized. A very tall deal and a tall order to face back down too. Aaron Action Jackson right now, the number 12 Ford Mustang. He is honestly probably driving as aggressively as I've seen him drive this entire season. Again, he does have a stage point to his name, but really he doesn't have any wins, no extra bonus points to him. And he has just been telling me over and over, I'm desperately just trying to get this car dialed in and then get a break in. I've been tired of sitting around in Wilder and beyond, just trying to figure out how the heck to get even something going right. So I think a good case to get it dialed in today has to be overdriving the track out and trying to face these guys up to a couple notches or two. The Jackson music, number 12 right now, currently trying to get to the Heineken, number 7 Ford Mustang. That's Scott Simley. As the Dynaco Toyota Camry of Dayton Taylor. Bringing it back a little bit of a car scheme down there. I'm kind of liking it. That is the scheme that represents the king himself. So in the movie, and of course I think y'all know who the king is. But he was driving a Thunderbird. He was driving the old. I think it was the Daytona. I think that was the Daytona Charger, or the Dodge Plymouth, when they had it on that track. I could be wrong. You guys have to let me have it in the comment section if I'm completely wrong on what I'm saying there. But I know it was one of those big, fast winged birds down there that were pretty much only outlawed for like 1 or 2 seasons with those cars. They get back down around the back straight away. Aaron Jackson now charging up quick, and he starts to unravel his plan into action. And the 7 of Skimley right now trying to keep him back behind, not looking to let him push forward here. But again, driving that wide, that tight, such a increasingly tough angle to use up against. But if you can time it just right, man, you can get so much extra power off that. And it really does you quite a bit of good here. So about halfway done here with stage number 1. We'll touch to a quick commercial break as well once we get to the end of our stage break. Remember, we do have the Truck Series coming up tomorrow night, so be sure to stay tuned for that and watch out for that kind of racing when it comes around, because the playoffs now begin. And those Goat Racing League boys know they've got a long order ahead of them in terms of what they'll need to do and bring to the table. The 23 Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar of Charles Van Schaik right now. Starting from the back. Went from 10th, moved into 8th. And so far anyway, been very conservative here in terms of the speed and scope. Whoa! So you get a speed and scope. Hold on down there. The Massage Envy number 43 of Sammy Harrell. Nearly takes himself out of the race here. Goes for a little bit of a wild ride there. Down off that front straightaway. We'll take another look at it, see what happened here. He was patrolling it right off of turn number 3 into turn number 4. And, oh, right there. Yeah, you can see he just flips the inside spoiler there of the 11 of Ron Holyfield. But that car able to take the abuse, to take the damage. And Harrell able to use it as well to be able to bounce off a little bit. This car is not as low as some other cars have been, especially with those spoilers, but that's still, it's got to be a very tough little ride to hold on to. Let's see if we get a good look at this on board. Yeah, right there, just came up a little bit. Then he got himself locked up. Then you can see he catches a break, gets back in the grass. Then he's just trying to steer it off. Nasty, nasty little situation there, but thankfully he stays relatively away from trouble. Back to the live show right now here as we continue on. Ron Holyfield way up high there with Cameron Dario and Charles Van Schaik starting to close their gap off. Almost 3 wide in the right out of the gate. Oh, Christoph Hall now. Same troubles that Joe Hudson had earlier. He gets a little bit too tight and winds up diving it down the back half. Does get squared up, so the car is okay. These guys right now gotta be feeling just a little bit of pressure and feeling a little bit of that intensity starting to burrow through their minds and through their heads, knowing they are so close to the end of this season, end of the regular season. It is Aaron Jackson catching that right out the corner of my eye there. What a run coming through turn number 2. And the Action Man is now playing up a few drumsticks here. He's getting some momentum. He's getting some speed out there. Aaron Jackson right now looks like gets a little bit into the wall as well. He needs to be careful because he just made that huge move on Simley. And how about this? Look at this. Back in the right behind them as well. The number 22, the Wild Man, Alan Wild. The Commander is making some headways here. He's getting a little bit headstrong down there. I love this extra little bit of speed and momentum he's starting to cook through here. Again, though, he knows he still has about 10 laps he's got to get dialed in here. Gets it right up to Simley. And now he's forcing old Simley to make a choice. Defend or fight him. I don't think you want to fight the commander or the wild man, whatever you want to call him. He's got the silver chromed up wheels going, and he's got the power of brewing. And right behind him, Cameron Dario, a winner this season, the number 54, looking to try to outsmart both of them and make some headways to the top of the mountain. The gap's starting to wind down a bit, starting to travel off for the paces here. Dario now sells an opening in the water. Now he'll have to go for it. Out of the blue and down to the groove. Right on below. Dario gets a good jump there with Charles Van Schaik helping him out a little bit. He'll shoot it back off the gap and he moves it ahead. Van Schaik right in that mix as well, trying to do much of the same. The clouds start to come down here and to really bring the track to a little bit of a cloudy mountain, if you will. 8 laps left to go here as Tyler Dalton still the reign of terror. Just being an absolute reign of terror on these guys. Cannot believe that Sem 519 has done what he's done, but man, he's done more than that. He has put every ounce of pressure on these drivers and pushed them to their limits. Well, Christoph Hall not having a very good stage 1 there for his fake. He went up 1 spot, which moved him from 11th to 10th, but had a trouble there, a little bit of a troublesome corner off turn number 2 just a little while ago. Rear end kicked out too much underneath him, and then losing too much speed and power to kind of stick with it. It certainly cost him plenty of time and momentum, and now he's trying to just gain it back. Everybody right now starting to bridge off their gaps, starting to bridge themselves down a bit. No one looking for any mistakes. They're all looking for the extra bit of power and machinery here. Man, that 23, he is looking top notch right now here at the end of the stage, which I'm not surprised. Van Schaik's extremely clever in terms of when he starts to really level out the field, level out the speed here, and he's trying to outsmart these guys here a little bit, trying to do what he can do with them. He's chopping them up on the outside. Here's the 54 of Dario, just currently fighting back off a little bit. Shoots the gap, shoots the nose, and it is Van Schaik that gets ahead of Dario. 5 spots up now. He's tied with the hard charger. Who's the other one? Well, it's actually the other 2. Baron Action Jackson and Philip Schmitz. Yes, that Philip Schmitz here. The Interstate Batteries number 18. Who literally went for all the way from 14th to 9th in this one. I'm not surprised though. I mean, this guy can drive it with the best of them. If you allow him to give him any chance or any little feel, I guarantee you that 18 is right there with him to the very end of this race. Dayton Taylor right now starting to get cleared off a little bit, and looks like his tires may be starting to feel the pressure a bit. Aaron Jackson, Scott Simley, Van Schaik, and Scott and Cameron Dario right now, all in that bit. 3 wide, right off of turn number 2, cleared the gap. Simley and Van Schaik getting out of it. Simley able to keep his momentum up just a little bit more though. Van Schaik back and right on the throttle. Remember, he does have a little bit more fresher tire wear, so he can use it to his advantage. 2 more to go here in stage 1. Dario, you can actually hear how smooth he's getting off that corner too. You can hear the throttle actually coming down a little bit. Didn't want to really rack up and stack them up. He wanted to just kind of be a little bit more patient, a little bit more enduring. And I think it was a very smart and wise choice there, but a very bold choice at the same time. Well, 1 more lap to go. Whoa, 3 wide salute there coming down. Simley and Jackson trying to hold it. Simley backs out of this one. Now it's Schaik that gets a good run off him. Safe to say, Van Schaik will be a heavy runner there in the next bit of this race. But for Tyler Dalton, all it took was just some timing and patience, and it is all his. He'll take stage number 1. Well, I mean, I could say a lot of things about him, but really the biggest thing is just pure dominance. His reign of terror continues on here, race fans, and we're going to see maybe a little bit more of it, or we could see some wild action that could completely fix things up and mix it up a bit. We'll see. Drivers got their handful, and they've got their work out for them. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, there's plenty of racing to be had down here in Atlanta. Welcome back here live, ladies and gentlemen, here on Pizza Race TV as we're getting set back onto the stage here. Everybody right now currently coming from that hard racing moment or mentality and focus here, as everybody had their work cut out for them then and there for stage 1. Now stage number 2 going about to commence off. We will see. Tyler Dalton, the Reign of Terror, leading them down with Aaron Axe Jackson, Scott Simley, Dayton Taylor, Cameron Dario, Gallon Wild in the top 3 rows. Rolling right off down off the corner. Green flag back in the air. Here we go again. Hey, look at this already. Aggressive nature, aggressive power. 3 wide, right off. Dayton Taylor shoots the gap, bridges them off, now sends them back down their way. He'll fire it up there against Scott Simley as the Reign of Terror himself is jumping ahead. Dalton is just not going to be able to be touched here if you allow him to get these starts like he is and then jump away from him. I feel like you've got to be as close as you can to just hitting a perfect start and then keeping your speed with him. Unless you're planning on a caution coming out, which I don't know why you would. You're going to have to be very, very focused to try to take him down today, in my opinion. Now, again, that's not to say you couldn't get a fuel strategy run going for yourself. But I just personally think it may not be as cumbersome or as technical in nature as it may be tougher to figure out. Just due to the fact that these guys are running so hard, so quick, so long. It really just kind of makes you have to work for every bit you can. Atlanta right now currently just throwing these guys and gals for a bit of a loop here and trying to see where they can take these drivers to their limits. Van Syke staying way back in the pack again. Aaron Action Jackson way off the pace as well. Maybe trying to pull a Charles Van Syke on us all here and maybe just kind of lay low and then just let it scream from there. It's hard to tell sometimes from his point of view. Going into a little turn though, it is Dory Woods in the 66 trying to stay away there from the Joe Hudson in number 15. Hudson moving his way right ahead there of the Havoline number 66 on board. You can just hear how smooth they have to feather the throttle off there. Usually, when I see drivers kind of making their runs around here, usually they're trying to push their absolute brink to the speed and the endurance level they need to be. Not in this case, though. So, ladies and gentlemen, just a heads up, to next week on Saturday night, we will see the very final race of the regular season for the Cup Series. Trucks begin theirs tomorrow night, obviously, for playoff racing. But for the final race, they're going to be up to the ultimate challenge, 112 laps at the famed Brickyard. Indianapolis Motor Speedway's Oval is up next. From there, it'll be down to Darlington, then to Las Vegas. Got the round of 16 to round of 12. Talladega and Homestead up. Round of 8 then begins with Pocono and Auto Club, the championship race at the famed Phoenix Raceway. Quite a bit of a drive off and a run down. They have to figure it out here. Scott Simley staying up close to Dalton there, but he's still not getting much speed out of him, though. I think one glaring issue right now I'm kind of seeing too is Dalton is kind of slowing up Stimley a bit with that dirty airflow and that dirty pressure that's kind of building and marking around him. So that's really right now starting to get the better of him and starting to get the better of his speed and his top power he can drive off with. And especially with over 100 laps to go, I got a feeling he's probably going to be trying desperately to kind of get things lingering around and fired up a bit. Man, Van Schaik, honestly, he is backing off a lot more than I kind of expected here. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but, I mean, look at what he's doing. And he's been lingering further and further and further away with more than I think he was expecting to. So England, Jackson, Schaik right now kind of parked back in a little bit. You can see the number 39 gonna bring a little bit of Breast Cancer Awareness Month into this bit here, showing some love down there as well. Can't quite read on the side there what it says. I think it says Nurtec ODT or hashtag Nurtec ODT on that 39. Very awesome looking scheme though, and very good representation he's bringing to the table here to try to show the love out there to the ladies and people and all those that fall under that horrible disease. So big kudos to him and a big eye opener there, I would say, as well, for what they're bringing to the table. Working the way around right now, Ron Holyfield trying to stabilize himself up to get there ahead of Alan Wild. Both guys right now staying in close proximity and dare I say, in where they need to be. And Alan Wild right now, again, I'm very impressed today with what he's been able to do. He's been able to keep his momentum base up. He's been able to stay right where he needs to. He's watching all corners. He's watching all drive off. The only thing I think really he needs to focus on is the overall distance, the overall control that takes this one down. gap right now about less than half a second here, 4/10 of a second there from Tyler Dalton to Scott Simley. And ladies and gentlemen, I think it's about time we go a little on board here with Tyler Dalton. Let's see what exactly makes him so fast today. I think it really hinders down to two things here, which is pure speed, consistency, and the way he rolls the corners. Notice how he doesn't lay off on the throttle too much. Notice how he doesn't try to back down too quickly. Doesn't try to overdo his limits. You can see that rev limiter, he's just getting it right in a nice tight spot. He uses the outside line for banking there for 1 and 2. Then corners back down through 3 and 4. Jumbles it around. And then starts to really dish out the power and dish out the run. And I think it's exactly why you see him so fast right now. But Scott Simley and Dayton Taylor, looks like they both may have a little bit of an opening here to kind of use up on him. And honestly, that is going to be needed. And Simley right now, look at this. He's getting a lot of ground on him here. He's building speed up. Got him right on his sights here. If he can catch him up, he might have a chance. Alan Wild even too. He's not far behind. It's every driver themselves right now, and at this point I got a feeling that everyone probably looking on just thinks that they can get the best out of their equipment, the best out of their run if they simply just follow the regulation, the rules here. Lap 75 though, fastly approaching, and I think there's a lot of guys here maybe getting a little bit over their heads and over the moon, just trying to stick with what they're doing. You can hear Hudson's throttle rhythm too, compared to what you saw there was Dalton. He was a little bit off the pace off that run there. Compared to what Dalton was, you heard actually he had a little bit more grip and a little bit more build-up, whereas Hudson, he was a little bit harder off the exit, but he couldn't quite get the grip to kind of stay in tune with what he was wanting to do there. May not last long though for Dalton though, because again, Simley catching him up pretty quickly. The 7500 team right now doing what they can to stay in line and in touch, but for Simley, he needs to get himself some kind of win to better himself into the finish. Slowing it down the last bit of laps here right now. I think, if anything, these guys probably are just trying to stay relatively one step ahead of the field and one step ahead of the balance here. A few of them going down a lap here from pit road. Cameron Dario and the number 54 and the 43 there, looking to sneak their way into the fighting battle out here a little bit. Again, Samuel Harrell right now just trying to not do anything too crazy. Nothing, or excuse me, not something. Excuse me, I'm talking Dayton Taylor there. I keep forgetting Dayton Taylor's supposed to be in the 45 and he's in the 43, so I apologize in advance. He was a lap down, he's trying to get his lap back. 43 is Sammy Harrell, so I do apologize for the number confusion. I was doing so good earlier too. I was like, man, I got everything down, and I know which one's which. And all of a sudden, I'm over here looking like I don't even know what I'm talking about. So, my humble apologies to these guys. The Caravana number 36, Richard Crane, well, let's just say, unless he can find a way to throw an anchor on all the drivers, I do not think he's going to be getting his lead back here. I mean, give credit where credit's due, though. That Caravana number 36 hasn't left the track yet, and he's still hanging in there. This field starts to draggle down here. Scott Simley already in pit road. Tyler Dalton having to stay out a little bit longer, wants to try to put the pressure on these boys and keep momentum up to par and up to pace. Alan Wild moving into second place. It's the highest he's been today, but he's still got about a second and a tenth of a gap there bridged off between him and Cameron Dario. Speaking of a Cameron out there, I just want to quickly break the fourth wall here and say happy birthday to my little cousin down there. Well, I can't call him a little anymore. I gotta call him a younger cousin, but happy birthday, Cameron. I hope you're enjoying your birthday today, buddy. I'll be seeing you soon enough here. Wild right now, in my opinion, probably the most clever of the drivers here in terms of his tactics and his control. He's been extremely smooth on it and down there. Commander taking his presence here and making sure he is still where he needs to be and making sure he knows what to do when the time comes and when the drive is right. A lot of guys right now, though, they are currently laps down just due to the simple pit stops here to get some more fuel underneath their hands. Top 75, fast approaching. We got about 12 laps left to go. The obligation here right now is just honestly just stay in touch and stay focused on where you're going and try to put everything on the breadbasket table here and hope it works out in your favor. For some it is easier said than done. For others it's literally just a matter of control and distance. Wild right now lost a lot of speed there. He's now down to only 2 tenths ahead of Cameron Dario, and Dario is not going to make this easy on him. Dario looking to park up the momentum, looking to clear the gaps. He's making a quiet change around there. He's making some serious headways to the front. Dropping down the speed, dropping down the corners here. He knows what's ahead of him. Wild right now, if anything, I'd say probably his best bet is to stay in tune and stay in line where he's going and see where the drive will run from there. Don't let things get too out of control. Don't let yourself get too wrapped up in it. Just make or break the run and take this one in your hands. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Dario right now moving it ahead of Wild here, so it looks like maybe trying to be a little bit more conservative, but I don't think it's working out too well. Simley right behind him now, and Samuel Harrell. Yes, that actual Samuel Harrell. I apologize earlier, buddy. They are all now right in their playing field and in their zone. Trying to make or break their situation, trying to take control of the race. But who's going to make the better of the other here? Well, right now, Wild will go down to the bottom. He'll let Harrell and Simley do at it a little bit. And these guys, too, are hoping and counting on Dalton and Dario as well as Wild. Well, not Wild anymore, really, but Dario and Dalton to make a troublesome little position or give them back their pace here. But with only about 6 laps left, that's not easier. That's easier said than done. Well, never mind. Dario is going to go in. Quick pit stop, and he quickly gassed on it. Try to get it to settle down. Now Dalton, the only one left. And this is a very particular spot for him because he knows now he doesn't get into pit road. He could be risking losing all that time in that ground. If I was him right now, I'd probably look at getting in there quicker than he knows. They are the 485 Dynaco, or excuse me, the 483 Dynaco machine. I swear, I want to say the 45, but it's the 43 he's got it on today. Man, you got to stop confusing me down there, Dayton. Dalton finally goes to pit road. Hudson going to take the lead away. And remember, Hudson hasn't been to pit road yet, so he is playing a very, very fine line here. Currently slowing up quite a bit here. I think he's starting to realize he may be in trouble here. So pit stops have now been headed up here as Hudson gets in there. England, one of the only drivers left that hasn't gone in. I think he's been on a fuel saving strategy here as well. Not surprising here, but a very tough little detail to really narrow down and really figure out here. Not that it can't work, I think it's just the problem is using it to work itself in. And now it looks like he's going to go to pit road, so Dayton Taylor, he's already been in there. He went on lap number 51. And this seems like this could be a winning strategy here. He's only got 3 laps left. Now going to be down 2 when he gets into the line here. The Dynaco 43 seems to have found something here, guys. Dayton Taylor right now looking to kind of wrap this one in a knot and in a bow and just rip and give the present he's been looking for, which is the elusive stage points. A lot of guys like Tyler Dalton, Cameron Dario, Kevin England, Alan Wild are going to be trying to hunt him back down and looking for some help coming in to the next set of this race. But off of corner number 4, Dayton Taylor going to get a little Dynaco blue going here. He's got the stage win. Well, so I thought anyway. I thought we were going to lap 75. They're still going. Caution has not come out yet, so they're going to keep it racing. Well, I got it written in my notes. So lap 75 I had written in for stage 2 here, so I think they may have swapped that on us here. So now maybe actually Dayton Taylor's little strategy may not have worked out exactly the way he was hoping for. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see here, but they're still currently in stage 2, so just be aware of that here, drivers and fans. Samirel actually starting to pick up a little bit of the pace too as the Massage MV43 comes up closer to him. Looking to bridge out that gap, trying to get up there to him as well. So no, Harrell was not the stage winner, although you could make the argument both were technically the stage winner. They both drive the 43, but no, actually what it is that Samuel has had a few stage wins. So we'll just kind of throw that gap in there. But they are currently still finishing stage 2 out. I was pretty sure we were going to go to 75 and that was it. But the officials have called for a little bit longer, so I am completely off on that one there. The field's gapped up quite a bit too. You can see a lot of drivers, man, they are really distanced themselves out here. They're really farther away than I think most of them were kind of expecting here, which really kind of boils down to what they have to do. Guys like Maurice Burnett here in the 8, you see them kind of really digging their tails in, digging their speeds in a bit, looking to try to show what they can do to the table and bring to the track, but this season just has not quite been, in my opinion, what maybe he was thinking it would be, nor what really he was after in this case. And I think a lot of that could just boil down to the fact that he really has just been having to run into a reign of terror down there and a lot of other obstacles that throw everyone into so much trouble and so much dealing here. A little bit of a last minute change up here. We still have a little time left in between. Drivers right now just trying to use whatever they can left of these cars. Hoping for a bit of a break, hoping for a bit of a best of the luck here, if you will. A lot of guys right now just trying to keep their patience level up and trying to keep the distances up further and further. Unlike my patience level, unfortunately, they have at least a little bit more control over it. Gapping around now, Simley and Harrell. Looks like they're going to go battling for second. Those two earlier were battling for the lap spot. Now they're battling for the position here. As they dig it into the corners here, yellow flag is out before time could elapse here. They've got the caution now for the stage break, which means Dayton Taylor for sure now is your stage winner. So my minor miscommunication there. We have finally got our stage winner here. Dayton Taylor, you're going to take it home. He takes the points home, and now he's got himself a chance at taking down some heavy hitters. Like in year, the car is hurting for fuel, and the drivers are in much the same vein. Who will be able to survive? We will find out when we come back live on PT Racing TV. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here live onto the call yet again here. Bit of a gap and a bit of a speed burrowing through these drivers, and everyone right now looking on as they're about to face their ultimate challenge yet. The final leg of this race with the green flag dropping off. It's time to kick it off. Here we go. A lot of drivers having to come into pit road there for fuel, and a lot just trying to keep themselves relatively occupied on this final leg of the race. They'll have themselves well over 60 laps need to be completed as they go 68 to the distance. Green dropping with these guys already hard on the shots. Van Schaik and Joe Hudson certainly in that mix and certainly in that position. Samuel Rell right now currently, and I mean currently, just hoping, praying, and maybe more desperate than I've ever seen a man run as hard as he does, run as quick as he does, to just try to get to the top, only to be distanced out by just one break, one thing going wrong. He's going to do everything he can this final leg to keep this race in his sights. The chances are high and his hopes are there. But he certainly has a little bit of work to do when these guys get putting bumpers together. Take advantage of that if you can. Hudson and Taylor digging it right into one another, and those two driving it quickly into the gap. Dynaco 43 trying to see what he can do to the massage envy number 43 there. Samuel Harrell. Dayton just trying to line out at this point, probably look for gaps, bridge off any kind of extra speed he can get, see what he can do with it. Philip Schmidt's moving 8 spots up, the hard charger today. And he's moved it up from 14th position today. He's got Christoph Hall and Maurice Burnett right behind him here as they start to lower the power down. Rolling it off down. Christoph Hall looking to go into the inside corner there, trying to get to Jackson, and then Van Schaik looking at possibly making a run for the race lead. There is a 3-car battle though going on. Samuel Rell, Dayton Taylor, Joe Hudson. My. They are right now lower in the gallop, and they're starting to fire in the air. Man, Harrell right now, at this point, probably just being very cautious and optimistic, but he knows one wrong move, and he could be on the receiving end from the 15. Hudson, he's another guy, too. This entire season, he's been so close to it. He's been so far away from it. Now comes his chance, and he makes the mistake again! Down through turn number 2, he got tied again and lost it in the corner. Might have tracked that flat spot there right off the middle. There's a flat spot that hits right in the corner, and he ended up hitting it right on the spot, it looked like. And all that speed and power as he was trying to drift it out, he lost it again. And man, I cannot believe he made the same mistake twice, almost in the same exact area that got him in trouble earlier. Oh my. Unreal. And right now, Dayton Taylor here. Look at this. Back to the side-by-side routine. He's going to throw the haymaker. Oh, he threw a little bit more than that. Harrell backed off. He got a little bit tight from 4. The more they keep battling, the more they're just giving other drivers a chance to breathe. Hudson, Van Schaik, Jackson, and Hall, they're all in it. But Taylor, unlike Hudson, he finds a way to get past the flat spot. But the rear end kicking out a bit. He knows he's in trouble down there. Hudson with a big bridge off there, running it right through. Hudson looking down low yet again. Dayton Taylor looking to just try to stay out of the troublesome spot. And he gets a block off on that one too. But the cameraman right now needs to learn how to operate a camera here. You can see how close Schaik is as well in that mix. And he's got everyone right now closer than ever before. Nobody is safe. Hudson looking for the slide job. Nope, no go. Oh, look out down there. Look out. Look out. Harrell at the wall. Oh, and Samuel Harrell yet again will have to let another golden opportunity slip from his hands. The golden ticket to the playoffs will only give him one more chance here if he cannot complete this race. What an absolutely embarkment of trouble he found himself in, and he cannot do anything but just look in disgust, knowing what could have been. We're rolling through the last bit of this race. Van Schaik, the number 23, Dr. Pepper, Zero Sugar. He is narrowly and controllingly coming up towards Dayton Taylor, and again, all due to his persistence and consistency while staying out of trouble and making sure he just lays low until the tires come right where he needs it to be. The bridge starting to build up a little bit more. Van Schaik, look at this. Topping it down low. Topples the Dynaco 43. Schaik was looking there. He signified it, but it was no go. Shike now, looking again. Can he get him this time? No, Taylor, he's getting a little tight, though. Look at the wheels. You saw the wheels that were spinning right, left there. He's actually having a little bit of a problem getting a grip there. And there in action, Jackson. Now looking to capitalize on that move as well. He's starting to see something down there. Man, these guys right now, they've just got to be fuming and just thinking, how much further, how much closer can you even get? How much farther will you push the limit, the control of your equipment, all in just the name to get to something coming up? I think we got a technical difficulty here, guys. Okay, there we go. We're back. We're back. We're back. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on down there? We lost power here, and I know that's not what it's supposed to look like. Well, we're back. No, a little scare there. Don't worry, guys. We're okay. We're okay. Dayton Taylor, Charles Van Slyke, Aaron Jackson right now still right in for the race lead. Tyler Dalton, actually, by the way, from where he was at, he was all the way back in the 11th and 12th position. The 7519 has closely regarded his speed and power again. Perhaps he learned a lesson. He learned not to make the same mistake twice. Yeah, right now, Dalton, it looks like he just needs to kind of keep up his distance, keep up his paces. Looking to linger his way around and looking just to keep every bit of that control he had earlier in full perspective. Taylor and Shike and Jackson, I don't know, those two are just wanting to have a little triple threat battle here, but those three just do not leave each other out of this equation. They're all so close together. Looking to run its way down. Big jump. There it is. Van Slyke finally getting a run on there. And Taylor, I don't know, maybe he just gave himself too much on that clock or too much on that speed, but man, that was a major gap that he had to shoot for. Jackson right now looking to kind of keep right there with them here, as right now Hudson and Dalton currently having their own war of words. Sammy Harrell, by the way, too, I haven't counted him out yet, but at the same time, I kind of did. He is still making a little bit of a charge back in this one. Pit stops, though, are going to need to be made here, so I think that could give him a slight glimmer of hope. Maybe a little bit of chance here, a little bit of a brink. The question I have, though, is when and where do you go in, and how do you make that move when you initially go in there? Van Slyke right now, number 23, Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. just looking on and on. Looking to stay right where he wants to. Looking to build up any left he can. Dalton Hudson and Simley looks like right now all those guys trying to work together here to gain a little bit of traction on their level out here. And it looks like more and more of Philip Smith's here. Looks like he's starting to get a little bit clever here, getting a little bit more run. I gotta believe that right rear tire is not too crooked up or too burnt out. Again, most of the speed relies on those right rear tires there. The right sides obviously have a lot to deal for and have a lot to play out with, but that could mean a whole lot of other things here, as currently we're having another little technical difficulty here. Hang on, folks. Producers, can we get them back up? There we go, that's better. Hudson right now looking to stay out of the way of Dalton, but it's not going to help him much. Joey Woods too, even the Ford Mustang Havoline machine. He's making a little bit of a drive off in between here. We're nearing the end of this one, guys. The gaps are starting to bridge off a bit. Joey Woods looking maybe to make a little more noise, make a little bit more of a statement here. Remember, he has a win to his name. He got that in the Truck Series, but he also proved something in the Cup Series as well and showed everyone that he's out to play, he's out to fight. But today, anyway, the 66, not quite up to his usual standard, up to his usual drive, and I think a lot of that has to do with just how temperamental the track has been, how hard it's been just to kind of stay in one line, one zone, and looking for everything to work in its favor here. So right now, rolling up on the final 37 laps. 37 laps is all it takes here. Which driver is going to take advantage of the runs? Which driver is going to take advantage of the speed and power that you're going to have to get endured here? Looks like pit stops now playing in too. Philip Smith's in pit road immediately. Richard Crane, Joe Hudson. They both have entered in as well. Ron Holyfield, the 11, and the A3G of Maurice Burnett. Looking to keep his gap up, looking to keep the power down. He's looking to see if maybe he can get a little bit more control, a little bit more stability here and see where it kind of plays him down at. Samuel right now currently playing in a little bit here with Maurice Burnett, Ron Holyfield, and all them. Charles Van Shyke, Dayton Taylor, Tyler Dalton, all of them coming from pit road. As they only opt for fuel, they hurry out quick. It's Joy Woods. Scott Simley is your race leader. If I'm Joy Woods right now, I'm thinking hit that loud pedal up just a little harder and then get to pit road quickly. Take a couple of laps to kind of settle yourself down, then get one lap to just burrow right in. Simley in pits now. Maurice Burnett, Samuel, Christoph Hall are going to be your new leaders. And you see Dalton right ahead of them too. They're trying to find any level up on them and trying to stake any kind of claim to it. Harrell right now currently, and I mean currently, just looking for long distance, long travel, long run, especially after that mistake he made from corner number 2, I believe it was, where he lashed into the wall, lost all his speed and grip, and then had to fire himself back down. Right now, those that kind of thought they had a bit of a lead off here, like Charles Van Shyke them and Dayton Taylor, they currently are now having to face up against the ever-elusive Reign of Terror himself. Tyler Dalton's pit stop, guys, only 11 seconds. Everyone else, 15, 14 seconds. Dalton right now is trying to score himself one here. Oh, wait a minute. Something gone wrong. Look at this. The 43, Harrell, he's got a problem. Right rear is completely destroyed on that one. He's got a broken right side. Where the heck did that come from all of a sudden? Let's take a quick look at the replay here. I think he might have smacked the wall going down for the corner there. See if we can take a look at it. Did he smack the wall, or did he just lock the entire right rear housing out with the car? That is absolutely tremendously horrible. There it is right there. He gets in there with Hudson. Hudson smacked him, and Hudson getting right in there with it. And there was absolutely nothing he could do. The right rear completely destroyed, and the housing on it destroyed out with it. While Hudson himself could not get anything figured out down there. He was in the wall protection and slammed right in between. And I think, honestly, that may have been the worst possible time he could have found himself in there. Man, Harrell this season just can't catch a break. Oh, man. That was nasty. That was nasty. Well, nevertheless, the race must go on. And Tyler Dalton still is your leader. Dayton Taylor, Aaron Jackson, Charles Van Shyke all trying to catch up. Hudson's in pit road. He's done for the day. Sammy Harrell, DNF either as well. And it looks like he's not going to get this one finished out. What a horrible break, unfortunately, for both drivers. Just an absolutely tough dilemma to deal with, but an even more troublesome slate to have to fight yourself through. Both drivers will have one last chance to get that one and only win before regular season ends by simply going to the Brickyard. Indianapolis awaits these drivers. I think honestly too, this probably played out well for the 19 here of Dalton, because again, he didn't have to worry about a caution coming out when Hudson got into the wall there. Instead, all he had to worry about was just starting to put up the gaps, starting to force everyone down a little bit here. Dalton right now, though, he knows one thing is for sure. Keep his feet up. Keep your drive in, and just let the machine come to you. Well, Dalton right now with the lead. Jackson, Taylor, and Shike right now, they're all looking to gap up their own little bridge here with last minute time up on the clock. No more time left on the clock here at this point. These guys need to start kicking up a little bit of speed, picking up a little bit of a drive here. Gap is starting to be absolutely horrendously tough and extremely more difficult to get to. Dayton again, man, he made a lot of great moves there, and honestly a lot of very close runs, but unfortunately, I don't think it fully worked out the way he was hoping for, and I think honestly a little bit had to do with the strategy he was using. I think he was expecting Dalton to be a little bit slower on that bridge, on that gap for pit road, and then take control of it. Instead, it went the complete other direction, other route. Jackson and Shike right now, the last really remaining two heavy hitters going at it. Christoph Hall, Maurice Burnett, they still have a little bit of a fight out between themselves. Obviously, Burnett hasn't exactly ran away from Hall just yet. Hall looking to get a little bit more base, a little bit more momentum. He's looking to bridge it down a bit. Looking for that last ditch effort here, that last ditch move, but it isn't quite fully all the way there. Jackson at this point, I think he's just really just trying to hope for the best here. Maybe catch a break. I think he knows this season he'll be having to kind of live out where he's been playing it, which has been double-ended, double-sided, double driving, and keeping his podiums up quite a bit this season. But I gotta believe he's also just probably at this point hurting and feeling so much pressure just trying to get to that moment. Last lap's coming up. Dalton right now, 16 laps left to go. So close to the end of this race. Van Schijk, big move on the bottom. Jackson trying to defend it. But Van Schijk will not be outdone and not overdone if he can find it. He's going to try to go for it again. Huge run on the inside. Both drivers trying to get a little bit more gas pedal underneath it. You could literally probably fit about 2 sneakers in there if you really want to try that. But that's about as much of a gap as you've got between these two drivers. I don't even think I actually would fit my one sneaker I have, and I wear a size 12, so you guys can take a guess on what that probably does. Now you can barely even fit a ruler between these guys that are absolutely trying to get the dirty air off each other and then trying to get the side draft to kick up a little bit. The power of these cars certainly are being put to good use. Oh my. I don't know how Jackson stayed out of the wall and how Shike didn't end up putting him up there a little bit. Those guys were running hard as it gets, and they were almost dead set, taking each other to their limit. Thankfully, though, peace restored, and it wasn't quite as bad as it could have been. Rounding them out through the sectors here. It is now do or die time for these two. I guess Dalton has kind of ran away from this one at this point. There's nothing he can do about it. You just can't drive that clever in an approach and that clever on a momentous occasion and think that someone wasn't going to kind of figure something out here. That was the case. Lining them off back. Looks like pit stops being made up there. Looks like one of them going down around. I believe that is Samuel Harrell. Yeah, that is. That's Samuel Harrell, the 43. Quite a spectacle here to see some of these guys, how far they've come and how far they've gone from success to unfortunate disaster. I got a feeling next week that 43 may be putting on one of the absolute toughest performances of his career. I could be very wrong, but I get the feeling he's going to try to do everything he can to just please these guys and put them on to the next level of this one. Dalton right now, just a mere 9 laps left to go. He's got 10, now he'll turn it to 9. Dayton Taylor just keeping his distance away from those two madmen there. He doesn't want nothing to do with them. If I had to guess, I think honestly probably just the only thing he's thinking of is just work out the kinks, work out the details. Everything else goes its way. Bridged up a little bit right now. Looks like it could be a final ditch effort here. Everything kind of coming full circle. Dayton Taylor leaving the door open for Jackson and Shike. And you would think right now they're battling for the lead, but no, this is really just a battle for second. Oh, no! Oh, no, no, no! Charles Van Shike has turned Jackson around on the back straightaway. Caution is out on the track. We're going to a green-white checker. What the heck happened? What on earth happened here? Jackson, I don't know, maybe he came up slightly or came down slightly. It looked like that was Shike that got him. And just like Arell's season, I think that's a pretty good representation of Jackson's season. Everything looks good, and then there's something just derails it completely outright. I don't think it was intentional by Shike, knowing his driving style. Just an absolutely horrible break here. Let's see. Yeah, it's a close race. Oh, look at that. It's just so close, man. It's just, there's nothing you can do about it. Jackson cannot be a happy camper. And I think Dalton right now probably more infuriated than all of them. He knows what the heck just happened. That one could not have been set in. Oh, my. Wow, that is an absolutely wild, wild situation here. And Brakes fans, now it's do or die time for these drivers. They have a green-white checkered attempt coming up. They have only what's left at their disposal on the tires and on the fuel. Dayton Taylor right now just probably thinking, I get one more chance to get this guy down. You get one more chance at it. Can you take advantage, or will you leave it open? Simley, Shike, Maurice Burnett, Philip Smith, they're all in that level here. The game plans arose, the speed about to be driven. Through corner number 4 here, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring him back to the green. Who's taking this one home? Who's walking away with victory? We're about to find out. Green is out. Oh, no, it's not. We got trouble again. Maurice Burnett. And more trouble down there. It looks like that's Kevin England. They stay green. A horrible start for them, and slows everybody back down the base as everybody trying to hang in there. They're going to bring him back with Van Schijk trying to take it with Simley. Simley trying to find a leg up. Dalton is all alone though. White flag coming out. Dalton gets to it. We're finishing this one in the checkers. We are. Dalton is right now looking back behind him. No Taylor's there. No Simley's there. No Schijk is there. All he's got to do is just stay off that wall. Unlike Taylor, he'll then be able to find this last bit and finish it out. The most winningest driver of this entire season just cannot be stopped. The reign of terror leads to the final race at Indianapolis. Oh my goodness, what a sequence of events, ladies and gentlemen. Your Cornhole Coffee results will be up in just a moment, but for Tyler Dalton, what on earth is this man got to be thinking? What on earth has he been doing to just get this level, to be able to outdo, outsmart, and able to ride out into the sunset with this many victories? This win now marks 9 wins total. I'm counting right now. I believe that is 9 in total. Just in the Cup Series alone. It's around 8 or 9 in total, and I just cannot believe what we've seen. The man is simply unbeatable. Let's take a look at our race results. You can say what you want, guys, but man, Tyler Dalton, the reign of terror, qualifies first, catches a break, wins it out. Scott Simley second, Dayton Taylor shows it to third. Van Schijk, even though the trouble there on the back straightaway got him into problems, he goes fourth. Phil Schmitz, what a performance, hard charger award winner, 9 spots up. He goes fifth, sixth to Dory Woods, seventh to Christoph Hall. Richard Crane goes eighth, 9 to Ron Holyfield. Aaron Action Jackson, a solid top 10. That will pretty much do it for our coverage. We'll talk to the drivers here next time around. They say they are wanting to kind of pack it off and call it a night. So, race fans, thank you all so much for watching. It's been a pleasure. We love you guys, and we will see you next time when the green flag flies on Pizza Race TV.